This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Friday, the real Friday, May 6th, and today's pod is the best one yet.
Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. Today is Seis de Molly Martel.
Seis de Male, as in happy birthday to the other first lady of this pod, Molly Martel.
Happy birthday, Molly. Now, yesterday was a bad day for tech stocks.
It was actually an awful day for tech stocks.
We're going to regroup and give more on that on Monday.
In the meantime, today's pod TBOY, Jack, first story.
1-800-Flower stock is wilting right now.
Yeah, because you're not sending daisies these days, you're sending donuts.
For our second story, Budweiser just dropped a report that should have micro beers shaken in their boots.
No more Mr. Nice Bud.
Our third and final story, Roe v. Wade, it's not just a political story anymore.
Yeah, Jack and I noticed American corporations are stepping up with some new perks.
But before we hit that wonderful mix,
A fantastic mix to end the week on, Jack.
this Sunday isn't just this Sunday.
No, it's not just any Sunday. This Sunday, FYI, it's Mother's Day.
You may send chocolate, you may send tulips, handmade pottery, handmade poetry to your mother.
Yeah, remember, she gave you life.
Mothers are the producers of this economy.
Yeah, the mothers out there, they hold the means of production on like little Timmy and baby Janine.
Now, we've got a warning, though, this Mother's Day.
Yeah, we do. It's a warning for Verizon, for AT&T, and for T-Mobile.
Prepare for an unprecedented stress test, a telecom stress test.
This is the beginning of the Call a Mom Marathon, Jack.
Because Mother's Day isn't just a Sunday.
No, get this. On Mother's Day, the United States sees the most phone calls of any day of the year by far.
122 million phone calls were made last Mother's Day.
We're talking 122 million phone calls made on the second Sunday of every single May.
Now, it doesn't have to be your mom who you're celebrating on Sunday.
No, Sunday's a celebration of all the moms out there.
Because Christmas is for malls.
Mother's Day, it's for calls.
Grab an iPhone, grab a Zoom link, grab a landline if you have to.
Yeah, the one with the curly cord. Those things are cute.
Smile, dial, call a mother, any mother, and say thank you.
Hey Siri, dial 1-800-CALL-MOM.
Hello, operator. Can you get my mom?
It's okay. Jack and I can wait. You can call your mother right now. We'll pause the pod.
We'll wait for all 122 million of you.
Okay, let's hug our three stories.
15 years before this song, two boys from the Northeast met in a dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your at-list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, 1-800-Flowers.com is suffering right now.
Spontaneous flower purchases are out. Random gifts, though, are in.
Jack, we got to talk about this. 1-800-Flowers.com. Best name in corporate America right now. Am I right?
The name is a CTA.
It is a call to action. This is like if the name of your store included the address at the end of the name of your store.
You got the 1-800 for the greatest generation, and then the .com for the boomers.
What's the name of your company? Make a left on Main, a right on Richfield, and we're right there.
It should actually be at 1-800-Flowers.com to get the young'uns.
Just throw on another suffix. In the meantime, 1-800-Flowers.com stock is down 70% in the last year.
And they just announced that revenue fell last quarter by 1% compared to the year before.
Now, the CEO of 1-800-Flowers.com, which is so fun to say, did say that Valentine's Day was fantastic, but it's everyday gifting occasions that are slowing.
Yeah, inflation, gas prices are up. People are cutting back on flowers.
Jack, I love seeing you every single day. I apologize I haven't sent as many spontaneous snapdragons.
I would appreciate some surprise sunflowers, Nick.
I'm just going to point out I haven't seen any coming my way either.
Now, Nick and I, our relationship's going to be fine.
It is
But 1-800-Flowers just revealed that they're not even a flower company anymore.
Check your mailbox, Jack.
1-800-Flowers has transformed into food gifts.
Get this, 1-800-Flowers.com Incorporated is actually now made up of 17 brands, and only one of those brands, just one, is 1-800-Flowers.
Now, it is the biggest brand. They make up half of the total business, but the rest of the business is these elaborate mail order gift things.
Here's what's coming your way, Jack. Maybe some Sherry's Berries, maybe some Simply Chocolate, maybe 1-800-Baskets.com.
That's a real brand. They also have a whole brand dedicated to those big 3-section popcorn tin barrels, you know?
Right, yeah. You're eating the caramel one because it's marginally healthier than the fried chocolate one,
I eat the ones that just make your fingers completely orange afterwards.
which is all of the above.
And it's a good thing they have these foods because gourmet food and gift baskets were the top performer for 1-800-Flowers last quarter.
Yeah, 1-800-Flowers saw the biggest growth, a 10% jump in these intense gourmet food and gift baskets last quarter.
All right, towers of tiramisu. That is the more popular gift than a dozen daisies right now.
Now, here's the one statistic Jack and I thought was the most fascinating. A key strength of 1-800-Flowers.com is the 70% of its customers who return.
The equivalent of going on a second date.
So, Jack, what is the takeaway for our second date buddies over at 1-800-Flowers.com Inc.?
Repeat customers are the roses of retail.
Getting a new customer, that is expensive. It's actually estimated it costs 5 to 25 times more to get a new customer than to get an existing customer.
Right. To get a new customer, companies have to splurge on ads, promotion codes, those mailers and flyers that are in your mailbox to get your attention for the first time.
Exactly. Like 20% off peonies. Here you go. That is costly.
But repeat customers, they don't need that marketing education. Repeat customers come to you.
And as 1-800-Flowers has noticed, those repeat customers are more likely to buy things, spend more money, and then buy things from different categories like those delightful caramel popcorn.
Everybody talks about growing to new customers, but retaining existing customers is a beautiful thing.
1-800-Flowers is betting on the repeat customers because they're the roses of retail. For our second story, Jack, rosé or frosé?
Rosé with ice. Dude, I put ice in white wine and in rosé, and I have no problem with that.
It was all of the above, but we can go with that. I'm down with that too. Okay, second story. The granddaddy of macro beer just gave us a hint of the drink of the summer.
Microbrewers, beware. No more Mr. Nice Bud.
No more Mr. Nice Budweiser. Jack, can you whip out the ID over there and tell us more about the AB InBev Budweiser family of beers?
Doing the research for this story, I had to type in my birth date to like 6 websites. It was really annoying.
If I'm off by a day, are they going to track me down? Who's actually covering this?
So AB InBev has the Budweiser family, the Corona family, Modelo, Beck's, and dozens of more international beer brands.
It's basically like a Long Island iced tea mix of brands. And in North America, over the last quarter, they sold fewer beers. But here's the interesting distinction. They sold more beer.
Yeah, volume of beers sold was down, but revenue of beer sold was up.
Okay, so Jack, can you translate that kind of awkward beer situation for us over there?
You might have gone from a 6-pack in the past to a 4-pack today, but that 4-pack is more expensive.
Okay, sprinkling on a little more context here. Basically, we all bought less beer, but we all spent more money on that beer.
That's some good, clean inflation fun right there. But you, me, us, analysts, we're all wondering, what will be the summer drink of summer 2022?
Okay, so Jack, first thought here. You're thinking White Claw? Is White Claw going to be the summer drink?
White Claw summer is long gone, Nick. That was 2018, 2019 at best.
It tastes like a bachelor party from 3 years ago.
And we can prove it. We Control-F'd seltzer, spiked, and hard. There was not a single mention of any of those seltzery words in the earnings deck of the AB InBev.
It was a truly travesty.
Now, in recent years, hard seltzer was replaced as the summer drink of choice by ready-to-drink canned cocktails.
Exactly. We're talking about your Negronis on the go kind of a thing.
Your Paloma for the parking lot.
Exactly. And those sales of these ready-to-drink cocktails, they're doing well. In fact, they're doing really well, Jack.
Sales grew at AB InBev by 6% in this category, which is 3 times faster than beer sales grew.
But here is something that just shocked Jack and me. You're going to sit down, stand up, and sit back down again. One of the top growth categories for Budweiser owner AB InBev. What was it, Jack?
Non-alcoholic drinks, like their new Budweiser Zero.
Which has us asking the big question, could zero-proof non-alcoholic drinks become the drink of 2022?
Somebody call Liquid Death, because we got a murder suspect in the beverage aisle.
And it's stone cold sober. Hey, San Pellegrino, you're the party drink of this year. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over at Budweiser?
A new era for Budweiser is upon us. No more Mr. Nice Bud.
Look, the craft beer and the hard seltzer trends, they made AB InBev and Budweiser angry.
This huge corporation, their stock fell 50% in the years that those trends were going on from 2016 to 2020.
Jack, I'm looking at the middle shelf stuff over here. Fireball Whiskey, Truly Hard Seltzer, canned frosé that stole Budweiser sales.
So AB InBev has taken off the gloves and they're stealing tricks from Mark Zuckerberg now.
Yeah, AB InBev, they copied the popular drink trends. And then here's what they did. They tossed their age-old brands onto those drink trends.
That's why we now have 8 different types of Corona. We have 19 different alcoholic beverages with the Bud Light brand on the can.
Oh, and Jack, can we talk about the very first word in the Budweiser earnings report this quarter?
The very first word was relentless.
Oh, watch out, startup microbreweries. Macro beer angry. And now word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
Nick and I got to know Vlad and Beju, the co-founders of Robinhood, when we worked there for 3 years.
And there's this one business principle we heard from them, and we honestly loved it.
ABL. Always be launching.
Always be launching. That's what keeps customers engaged, it keeps investors happy, and it keeps competitors kind of concerned.
Always be launching is also consistent with Robinhood's mission to democratize finance for all.
Yeah, not just stock trading, also options, crypto, spending, wallets, and more.
They launched a lot of stuff. And that's something we heard, we saw, and we adopted.
Yeah, this week we relaunched the podcast as the best one yet and launched a video pod right here. More to come.
If you're not on Robinhood yet and want to get started, go to Robinhood.com/TBoy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Certain limitations apply. All investments involve risk.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. By the way, Robinhood is no longer affiliated with us or this podcast.
For our third and final story before the weekend, with Roe v. Wade likely to be overturned, companies are stepping up again.
Because companies have become America's everything of last resort.
Okay, so here's what we know so far.
5 Supreme Court justices are working on a draft opinion which would overturn Roe v. Wade completely.
So it's likely that sometime before July, before the middle of this summer, the federally protected right to an abortion will be gone.
And that would leave it up to the states.
Yeah, and experts think that if this does happen, then 26 states will ban abortions.
Now, over the last few years, conservative laws are increasingly clashing with young liberal workforces.
And that's putting pressure on companies to speak out for the values that their younger workers happen to believe in.
Our year-end 2020 Year in Review podcast, we gave this phenomenon a name.
Yeah, we did. We called it the Chief Woke Officer. Whole new position.
And once again this year, companies are having to make tough decisions on divisive cultural issues.
Yeah, here's what Jack and I are noticing. Many companies are siding with their younger workers who happen to support more progressive policies.
Exhibit A, Disney. They condemned the new law in Florida that got passed that's commonly referred to as the Don't Say Gay bill.
So in this case, Disney was supporting its LGBTQ workforce.
Now, with abortion, companies have already come out to support their female workers living in states where abortion may become banned.
Okay, so this is an interesting development. These companies are turning abortion support into a health perk.
Now, here's how it will reportedly work. In the case of Amazon, for example, Amazon will pay $4,000 for employees' medically related travel, which would include travel to a state for abortion care.
And here's the list so far. It's not just Amazon, it's also Citibank, Apple, Levi, Uber, Lyft, Match, Bumble. All of them are doing this new type of health perk.
The list isn't that long yet. The great majority of Fortune 500 companies have been silent on this Roe v. Wade issue so far.
So, Jack, what's the takeaway for all of our buddies who are involved in this new phenomenon in America?
Corporations are America's everything of last resort.
So Jack and I were looking at this situation before today's pod, and we thought, you know what? Americans depend on corporations way more than other countries do.
For example, in America, we don't have guaranteed health care.
So companies provide health insurance for the majority of Americans.
In America, only 9 states require paid family leave. And childcare, it's pretty much unaffordable nationwide.
So it's often up to companies whether to support mothers and fathers.
And in America, we don't have federal policies to fight climate change.
So it's the companies who are leading the effort to cut America's carbon dioxide.
It's just how it is. In this country, our elected politicians haven't done the things that many citizens expect.
So we're increasingly depending on companies to do them instead.
And that is uniquely American.
Jack, can you whip up the T-Boy takeaways for us before the weekend?
Popcorn gifts are trending up. 1-800.com flower gifts are trending down.
But return customers, you are the roses of retail.
For our second story, Budweiser is selling less beer, but for more. And some of it's non-alcoholic.
No more Mr. Nice Bud.
For our third and final story, with Roe v. Wade likely to be overturned, some companies are taking action.
Yeah, companies have become America's everything of last resort. Now, time for our best fact yet. And yeah, Jack, would it kill you to send me some gardenias? I don't know. Who knows?
Didn't know you were into that, but I'm glad to hear you are.
Time for our best fact yet. This one sent in by Nick Sorise from lovely New York City.
Yesterday's pod, we were talking a little bit about Logan, a.k.a. Wolverine.
Wolverine, the one superhero who literally wears jewelry on his fist.
Lethal jewelry. But the question was, is he in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of debate. And actually, the answer is Wolverine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is complicated.
Wolverine and the X-Men are part of Marvel.
But Storm and Magneto are not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe that Disney recently acquired.
That's right. The X-Men and the Fantastic Four, they were historically owned by Fox, not Disney.
But here's the plot twist. Now Disney has bought Fox, so the Marvel family is no longer divided.
So Disney Plus has X-Men and Fantastic Four now, but they put them in the category Marvel Legacy Films.
Not the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So I was right.
So now we're all more confused. Besties, Yetis, T-Boys, T-Girls, T-Bays, we're going to have a name for you next week. In the meantime, Jack, plenty of wins to celebrate for the people out there.
Have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
And remember, your mother gave you life.
1-800-CALL-MOM.
We'll see you Monday. And before we go, happy birthday to Molly Martell. Happy Seis de Mayo. We're actually going to be in Mexico, Jack, celebrating in Mexico.
Seis de Molly.
Seis de Molly. Good clarification. And a happy early birthday to the birthday girl, Brooklyn Brink, the princess of unicorns in Hingham, Massachusetts.
And happy birthday to Sasha Glatt in Mexico City.
And Arturo Campos down in Lima, Peru.
And Adita Ladd in Santa Clara.
And Lexi Kopelchak over in Dayton, Ohio.
Happy birthday to Kenny V in Lake Oswego, Oregon.
And Connor Norden turning 25 in Sunnyvale.
Happy birthday to Trevor in Chicago.
And a happy birthday to Miriam Afzal, who also just had her first baby in Michigan.
Congratulations. And happy birthday to Ava Rukema, who's celebrating down in Cancun.
And John Engelman, congrats on those 10,000 steps today.
Same to Daniel from Colorado, 10,000 steps.
And Elisa Pasajic is going to space camp.
And congrats to Macy Damdar, who just finished the Suzuki Book 2 piano recital.
And Mara Light, congrats on graduating with that MBA.
Congrats to Brett Addington, who got a new job in Louisville, Kentucky.
And Billy and Jamela Broom, enjoy that 5th year wedding anniversary in Washington.
Sarah and Stephen Holzhauser are getting married in the mountains of North Carolina. Nick and I wish you the best.
Yeah, let's see some pics.
This is Jack. Nick owns stock of Apple, and I own stock of Amazon, Bumble, and Levi's, and we both own stock of Robinhood.
And now a word about our sponsor, Robinhood.
Funny little thing about the Robinhood logo.
Okay, go look at it right now. Most people, you just see a feather. Robinhood's feather and a cap. Pretty classic.
But it also looks like something else.
If you look closer, you may see an arrow pointing up to the right.
Yeah, the Robinhood logo. Nice little Easter egg in there. It's not just a feather. It also symbolizes bullishness.
There's a little arrow in there. If markets are up or down, it's nice to be optimistic.
We always love that little detail in the Robinhood logo.
Honestly, it's all about the little things in life.
If you're not on Robinhood yet, want to get started, go to Robinhood.com/TBoy and choose your free stock.
That's Robinhood.com/TBOY. Certain limitations apply. All investments involve risk.
Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. By the way, Robinhood is no longer affiliated with us or this podcast.
Bud.
Wise.
So, Jack, what's the take? Away.